to tell you how important this man is to the music industry here in Nashville. Come on in, Keith.
Oh, we're going to make you so uncomfortable. Okay. What a songwriter this man is. I got a list. Top hits he's written for Dr. Hook, Mickey Gilley, Al Jarreau, Johnny Mathis, Glenn Campbell, Kenny Rogers, Alan Jackson, of course, Ronnie Millsap, Clay Walker. I mean, super songwriter here we're talking about.
Now, we talked about producing. He produced Randy Travis. If I'm not mistaken, haven't you been with Alan since, like, the beginning of his career?
That was after Randy.
Right after Randy.
Excuse me, I'm out of breath.
I understand. That's why we're bragging on you a little bit here.
And you also produced Wesley Dennis, the new star.
Yeah, the guy's out on Mercury.
But with all of that said, I want to go back and tell the folks that you are a guy who was raised in country music. Your dad was a steel player for Johnny Morton's, right? You hung around the Louisiana hayride. Chris Christopherson at one point told you your songwriting was excellent.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, good.
He got you to town.
Come to Nashville.
He liked what I was doing and told me to come to town.
So when you came to town, with all of this behind you, did you feel that, boy, you know, I've got it made, I'm going to really make it in Nashville?
Well, the interesting part of that is I left Louisiana on like at 6 o'clock one afternoon thinking I was going to be in Nashville by midnight. I didn't bother looking at a map to see how far it was.
Oh.
And so needless to say, I arrived the next morning by 6 o'clock as the sun was coming up and slept through my first appointment. So at that point, I didn't know whether I was going to make it or not.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, when you came to town, though, and you had the writing success, you're now a record executive at Mercury, and all this tremendous success, you walked away from performing about 10 years ago. I think you just got burnt out on it, basically, and you went back to composing, right? So what attracted you back to the performing aspect this time?
Well, I think that everything probably has its time, you know, and it's, I really enjoy being in the studio a tremendous amount, and when you're working with an artist, you're sitting on one side of the studio constantly communicating with him, you know, or her, whoever it might be. And I just really wanted to get back on the other side of the glass for a while, I'll be honest with you, so.
Well, did you play any of your songs or any of your music for Alan Jackson to see what he thought about it? I know you're a really good friend.
He's going to roast me for this. I haven't played the album for him yet, so.
You have
it's maybe the first thing he's heard.
Why wouldn't you play it for him?
There he sits over there.
He's over there.
He's watching you. Yeah.
Well, I just hadn't had a chance to. That's a good excuse.
Keith's been busy, Alan, okay?
Busy producing you.
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear about the album passages. Now, the press is saying that you wrote this album from having a couple of midlife crises.
A couple?
Or a ton, or I don't know. What's the truth?
Everybody faces some crises.
No, I think the album was born out of just a particular period I've been going through the past 18 months that's been extremely strenuous on me. I think, you know, the only way I can really, if you're 33, 34, 35, 36 in that age bracket, and you have dreams that you want to go after and you want to accomplish. For instance, if a guy is a plumber and at night he's singing in bars and wants to be a star, you know, there's going to be a point where he gets to the point where he says, I can't keep plumbing the rest of my life. I got to go out and sing. So
what you've done is kind of like an introspective look at yourself that a lot of people can relate to in this album.
It's like standing in the middle of the road and looking back where you come from and looking ahead where you want to go.
Well, I mean, this is a good question with Alan Jackson standing over here looking at you. Where do you want to go? Do you want to keep producing him? Would you rather be a solo artist?
Well,
or can you do it all?
Oh, boy, you guys are running me to the mill here. What's the deal?
Sorry.
Alan, get over here.
No, well, one of these days, just get Alan to be your opening act. You know. Is that what you're looking for?
To close that show.
No, I know you guys have been good friends for a long time, and you turned out some of the most creative things in Nashville.
Hey, I gotta say, I mean, if it weren't for that guy over there, I wouldn't be sitting right here tonight, so I owe a lot to him.
We look forward to your album coming out. Keith Stegall has been the star from his passages album for you a little bit later on in the show. We have comedian Ronnie Shore when we come back. First of all, tonight's show is brought to you by Band Clear Roll-On.
Now, Charlie, you have to show them what I'm talking about here.
Demonstration.
Truly, it keeps you dry and fresh without leaving any of that